new temporary filming setup, which I'm super excited about. Look at those lights. I did that. Ignore the cables. So hi guys. I don't know how to do this. Yes, it's only the beginning of September, but I have brought my Sherpa out. What we're doing today, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing 5 things that I am trying to implement in our house renovation in order to make it a little bit more eco and a little bit more sustainable, a little bit more earth friendly, like zero waste but not really zero waste kind of situation. You know what I'm saying. 5 rules that I'm implementing during this renovation to make it a little bit more sustainable. We're just gonna get straight into it because I'm recording, editing and uploading this all on the same day, and I have loads of other stuff to be getting on with as well, so we're not wasting time. The really surprising thing that has become quite important to me is that if I have to replace something, I'm trying to replace it with eco, recycled, natural, anything like that, so it's much more sustainable and will also have a lot more longevity, as these products often do. For example, we really need new bedding because we now have our shiny new master bedroom, which is in an upcoming video. It might be quite a while because I'm still waiting for stuff to arrive to actually finish it, but we'll get there. And we really needed new pillows and a new duvet because the duvet that I have is just a standard double size. It's not big enough for the two of us. Dan and I spend a lot of time fighting over who gets the duvet because we both have a habit of moving and like cocooning ourselves. I really wanted to replace our duvet in particular with something cruelty-free and something much more eco-conscious, because ever since it became a thing that you research and, you know, knowing the practices of how certain products are produced, it's been a big thing for me to make as many things as I can cruelty-free. I hate the way animals are treated. I cannot stand it anymore, but I don't want to be wasteful, so I'm not going to throw that duvet in the bin when it's still perfectly usable. Instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get that duvet professionally laundered, and then I'm gonna use it as bedding for our guest room here, so that when we have guests, they've got a lovely, warm, cozy, clean, comfy duvet that fits this sofa bed perfectly. And then we are gonna have a lovely big, squishy, squooshy, king-size duvet that is made from recycled plastic bottles, which I think is amazing. It's also made in a green energy factory. The link for the exact products are down below. And I also got 4 standard size pillows on the website. It's a company called the Fine Bedding Company. They have a green energy factory. A lot of their stuff is really sustainably sourced or recycled materials or anything like that, and their factory is green, which is amazing. So I would definitely say that if you're replacing products because they're worn out or because you just want new ones, try not to be wasteful. Try and replace stuff in a way that you can use it elsewhere if it's not completely goosed, obviously. And I would definitely try and opt for sustainable or recycled options. So the second thing that I'm trying to do while I'm renovating is pretty obviously buying things secondhand, upcycling things, saving things from the trash, that kind of thing. This is a really big thing that I know loads of people do, but when you've got a whole house to furnish, and especially in our situation, we've come into this proper house from a place where all our furniture was essentially built in. Like, we weren't able to bring the majority of our furniture with us. Places like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Gumtree. I got our dining room table on Facebook Marketplace from somebody just a couple of miles away, so that was really easy. And I got a coffee table from someone who was heading over here anyway, from Aberdeen direction. That was Facebook Marketplace as well. I also got the dresser or the sideboard in our dining room. My mum gave to us because she didn't want it anymore. You know, there's things like that that it's big furniture, you know, it's big pieces of furniture that you can get. And I always think if you can get more or less what you're looking for and then do some work to it yourself, then you end up loving it all the more because you can do anything to it. But then there's also the fact that like it's not going to waste from someone else's not wanting it anymore. You know, you're able to give it a new lease of life, which keeps it out of landfill, which keeps everything so much more sustainable, and you're not buying a brand new product. Kind of hand in hand with buying things secondhand and upcycling them is to make things completely from scratch yourself. My mum had some curtains hanging on the front door of this house that she didn't want anymore upon moving into the caravan. So she said that I could use them if I wanted to. And I tried them up at windows and I just don't really like them as curtains, but they are perfect for an upcycle project. So I will be using those to reupholster the vintage sofa that's in our master bedroom, and you'll see that in, I'll probably do a separate video maybe on that. So the other thing about making things yourself is that the materials are often so much cheaper, but you can get so much more. So if you need to make more than one, then it's actually really, really useful that way, and it turns out to be a lot more cost efficient, but it's also way more sustainable because you can choose all the materials that go into it exactly, so there's no waste. You're not buying something flat packed from IKEA and then finding that you don't want these legs and just throwing them in the trash kind of thing. The other thing that you can do is you can make whatever you want. 9 times out of 10, unless you want to make something really complicated, you will always be able to learn how to make it. And that's also really good because then you're learning skills. Number 4 on the list is to buy from places with good ethics that you agree with. I am on a strict not buying from Amazon kick at the moment. Dan and I have both kind of come to the decision separately actually that we don't want to buy stuff from Amazon anymore. So instead, when we need something, we are Googling that exact product, and yes, if it's available on Amazon, you might look at it there, but then you'll always try and go direct to a company that's producing it and shipping it directly and that has a much better ethos than Amazon. I don't want to put more money in that man's pocket, and I'm not going to give him the time of day, to be honest. So what we're doing now is researching products that we need for the house and then finding a nice, sustainable, good, ethic company that we like. Preferably one with things like zero waste packaging, low carbon miles, materials made and produced in a small area. You know, we're trying to keep all of that in mind as well, and it can be really hard, and a lot of times you have to compromise. It's either one thing or the other, but making that compromise versus buying from a huge conglomerate situation like Amazon that's really, really immoral is a lot better than buying from Amazon. So the 5th and final thing on my list of things that I'm doing to be more sustainable during our renovation is to invest in longer lasting products. This one can be anything really. I mean, it's a simple question of thinking, well, okay, I need a desk. I could buy it for 40 quid from IKEA and it'll break after a couple of years or start to look really crappy after a couple of years. Or I could buy a vintage antique thing for maybe 100 quid or so. I could patch it up, I can make it look exactly how I want, it'll be way more unique, and it will last me years and years. My thinking is that if something has lasted 30, 40, anywhere up to hundreds of years, then it's gonna last you a lifetime and it's well worth the investment. So it's not about being as cheap as possible, it is about picking what you're investing in very, very carefully and knowing that what you need can be something that lasts a really long time and therefore will not need replacing. So if you're looking for a long-term investment, for example, the dining table I bought, yeah, it cost me 150 quid and I got it secondhand off Facebook Marketplace, and it's a bit scuffed and it's a bit stained and it's not looking its best, but I can fix that and I can upcycle that, and it's a really solid, really good quality wood furniture, and that's gonna last me for years and years and years, and I know that because I know it's solid wood, it's not hollow and filled and, you know, all of that stuff that you get from places like IKEA or somewhere similar. So when you're buying furniture, when you're renovating a space, I would really try and go for stuff that's gonna last you forever. And if you can possibly afford to spend a little bit more to get a better quality product, I definitely would. And if you stack that on top of doing your research and finding places and companies with a much more sustainable ethos, then you are being an angel. You buy one thing, one time, it lasts you for your entire lifetime and beyond. You know, like, we've got furniture in this house that is well over 100 years old, and therefore it's survived multiple generations of owners, and that makes it really sustainable. It was made once, it's been bought and sold loads of different times, it's been upcycled loads of different times, but it is 100% going to outlive me, and that makes it really sustainable because you can just continue to pass it on to people and pass it on to people. So there we go, 5 things that I'm trying to do while I'm renovating this house to make it a little bit more sustainable. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe, and hit that ring bell button down below, and that's it. See you next time. Bye.